And this ain't grooming? This video is brought to you by The Officer Tatum Store. The Officer Tatum Store. Get the merch link in the description section. Discount on all of the stores, store-wide. United We Stand. Put it in the discount section, and you will get a discount, 20% off the entire store. We're going to have a huge restock coming soon. We got it already preparing. So Fathers Matter done sold out because y'all done ate it up. I can't even keep them in stock, but we got them rolling. But y'all already know what to do, though. So let's get into this. Ladies and gentlemen, and ladies, I believe the sin of the world, the biggest sin of the world, the biggest fall from grace from anybody in the world is when fathers and men do not take their rightful position for whatever reason. Let me tell you why fathers are important, and I'm going to tell you the characteristics of a quality father. You are to lead. You are to be an example to your children of how to be a man or how to identify what a man is for your young women. You are not to allow your children to go out of the way in which God has instructed you to raise them. This is an example, in my opinion. I don't know the man, and I really don't care what they do in their life. They'll mess their own kid up. But this is an example of a man who I would consider to be weak. I would consider to be woke. There are better ways to handle this situation with your child than the way D. Wade is handling it, in my opinion. Why? Because I have sons, and I would never do the things he did to that extent. Let's roll the film.
It was an assignment that was done at school. An assignment at school would say, tell me about yourself. And this was the time where Zaya took the time to say, I'm black, I'm this, and I'm gay. At the time, Zaya said, I am gay. So the teacher called home. At 8 years old. At 8 years old. The teacher called home and said, hey, I just want you guys to know we post these all over the school, but we didn't want to post this if you guys didn't blah, blah, blah.
Listen.
So we sat down with the teacher and talked about the teacher at that time was a gay female.
Now, you tell me they don't have no influence in what this boy is perceiving to be gay? Now, think about this for a minute. Zion, or whatever his name is, happened to feel like he's a woman. Not a gay boy. He happened to feel as if he's gay. Now he won't be a woman. You know what I'm saying? And ironically enough, the classroom in which he came out in, where he found his courage, was from a gay woman. Do you not think that boy, in part, was emulating what he saw, or he felt a connection with the teacher that was teaching his class, which ultimately he came out in? Okay.
Gave Zion the confidence.
That's a blessing.
That's a blessing. You should be ashamed of yourself. This dude right here, I can make another video about him. That's a blessing. A blessing to God? Or are you talking about a blessing to your fallacies?
To be able to say those words. So when we sat down and I was in the room across the way, I prepared myself for 5 years for that moment, not knowing what I was going to do or say. When Zaya sat down with me and was across the way, just like me and you are right now, Ryan, I'm looking at my child. I don't care about anything else. I'm looking at my child, and I'm looking at my responsibilities. I'm looking at a child that's crying, that's afraid to tell their father that they're different than what you probably thought I was, Dad. I don't want to play basketball. I'm not a boy. I feel that I am X, Y, and Z, right?
I'm going to let it finish.
I'm looking at my child scared to tell me, and I feel like I am pretty open at this time. I realized that I needed to do better, and I needed to do more, and I needed to educate myself. And so what I did is I picked up the phone, I researched as much as I can because I needed to understand. I sat down with my child and I asked questions because I didn't know. Because it's not our job and our responsibility to tell you who you are.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because let me explain this to you. you're going to take the job to reinforce who you think that they think they are, aren't you? So every day you get up, you're going to call this kid what to reinforce who they are. What do you mean we're not to tell our children who they are? Yes, we are. When my son go to school and when things that my son do that are outside of who he is, right? You are a leader. Even though you may not lead today, I tell my son, you are a leader. You are to be a leader. You are not a follower. You are to act with integrity. You are to be respectful. Even when he's not totally you are to be respect. That's who you really are. Now you need to catch up to who you are. It is up to the parents. It is up to the father to instruct his son as to who they are supposed to be. And children are malleable. One minute my son want to be a basketball star. Next minute he want to play baseball. I take him to the All-Star game. He don't even want to play baseball no more. I want to be a soldier. So what I thought he would want it to be, he don't want to be that no more. But that's okay for you to go career to career. But for you to say that you are something against what biologically you are presented as, Father, you have to do more to say, let me get you back in line with reality.
You are going to be who you're going to be. It's my job to try to put you in the best positions to help you reach that goal of who you want to be. But it's not my job to tell you. You know what I mean? And right now, we experiencing that with Zaya, my 13-year-old, who last year we came out and we spoke to the world that, hey, my 13-year-old came home and said, Dad, this is who I am. I am a transgender child. It was
13-year-old. Now, for all the fathers and mothers out there that got kids, you know your 13-year-old don't know nothing. They don't know nothing about life. They're 13. They're just now becoming, in certain cases, 8th grade or 9th grade. Your 13-year-old is like a freshman in high school. You telling me that what person, when they were a freshman in high school or 8th grader, understood half of what they knew when they became a senior, understood a fraction of what they are today? You realize you don't understand life yet. You have not lived. You have not experienced anything. You don't know. Some of these people barely didn't hit puberty. You don't know what love is. You don't know what relationships are. You don't know what it takes to live in the real world. You don't pay no bills. You don't understand taxes. You don't understand life when you're 13. How you gonna say I'm a trans person? What do you know about trans people? D. Wade says, I did all the research I could. How much research was your 8th grader doing? You go and do all the research you can to better understand your 8th grader, but 8-year-old. How much research did your 8-year-old do to understand what in the world is your 8-year-old talking about? So you're telling me this. An 8-year-old has done probably no research as to what gay mean and what transgender mean, but you go do research to try to figure out what an 8-year-old is saying. That make sense to me. You should be doing research on how gender dysphoria works and how kids may feel a certain way and they grow out of it. And how do you as a parent help your child grow out of this? You don't thrust or groom your kid into it. You help them come out of it. Your goal as a parent is to help them out of it until they turn 18. And if they still got it in them when they 18, let them be what they gonna be. But you ain't finna do that at 8. You ain't finna be dressing like a girl at 8. Because truth be told, if you really letting them be them, then let them do whatever they want to do. Yeah, but y'all reinforcing it. You buy them clothes. They letting them date trans girls, boy, whatever that other kid is. You guys are grooming. You're reinforcing. Let me give you another example. If my child said, I want to be a drug dealer like Boosie or whatever, I don't know, whatever rapper. Let's see, Drake or somebody. I don't even know if Drake sold drugs. He be rapping like he did. But one of these rappers, Tupac, I want to be a gangster like Tupac. Hit him up. I want to be a gangster. What you gonna tell your kid? Oh, you just gonna be you. Tupac is famous. Tupac was well respected around the world. They liked him. I don't know about respected. They liked him. Then you explain to me what you gonna tell your son. Well, I'm gonna go do as much research as I can to see what that gangster lifestyle is like, because I gotta be a better parent to help my kid realize that he a Crip. He a Crip, he a Blood, he a gangbanger. And I'm going to do all my research so I can help. You know, I was looking at my son, and he told me he was 5 Deuce Hoover Crip, Pyru. And I needed to let him live that way. These people are out of control. If my kid came to me and said, Father, I'm gay, I'm going to sit him down and say, what are you talking about? Explain that to me. What do you mean by you're gay? What makes you gay? Is it, do you write gay? Do you do gay math? Are you swinging gay? Are you shooting 3-pointers gay? What does it mean to say I'm gay? You feel like you're attracted to the same sex? Well, let's talk about attraction for a minute. What does attraction mean to you? Because you think they look good, or do you want to have sex with them? Well, let's talk about, what does sex mean? What is the purpose of that? It's like these people, and if somehow your kid, you don't have to coerce them, you do them like an interrogation, you don't do leading questions. If you ask your kid those questions I just said, they're not going to give you a good response. They don't know what's going on. And then you say, okay, I hear you, but child, you don't know what you're talking about. And so you need to do research to figure out what you're trying to tell me. But until then, you need to be doing X, Y, Z. And that's how you going to live. And I don't care if you want to hide behind, you ain't finna do that in front of me. I'm not going to buy you no cross-dressing clothes. I'm not finna reinforce that mentality. I'm going to pray for you. You and me going to get on our knees and pray that whatever demon you may be dealing with, because it is a demon, that we going to pray that God heal you. Because I just don't understand how, I will never understand for the life of me how children can even have a concept of what gay is. Because adults don't even know what they're doing half of the time. There's a concept that we live by, and then tell you how stupid our society is. That we have this alphabet community that says gay, lesbian, and bisexual. There is no such thing as bisexual being something that a person is born like, because you just nasty. You just want to play both sides. That's pretty much what it is. Because technically, you can marry if you're a woman, you can marry a man and be fine, right? You just like both of them because you nasty, and that's what you want to do, which is fine. You live in America. And then we go down and we go transgender, non-binary. Wait a minute. The third letter of your alphabet says bisexual. That means that there's only 2 genders. Bi. You end it right there. Your sexuality only go between male and female. But then they go on with all these alphabets and make up all this fake reality. And I'm not against anybody that live that lifestyle, but it's a choice. You choose. Everything you do is a choice. If I chose to be married, that's a choice of mine. If I chose to have any relationship with women, it's a choice of mine. It don't matter what you feel like. You can choose to act on it. If I want to say I want to be celibate and I want to be all to myself so I can build an empire, I don't need distractions from anybody. I can choose not to date. I can choose not to get married. I can choose not to have relationships with women. You can choose that if you want to. And if you're a person who feel like you're attracted to the same sex and you don't want to, right? Because it's counterproductive. You can't have no kids. What do? You don't want the humiliation or whatever the case may be. You feel like if you come out to people, they're going to treat you a certain way. You can choose to say, you know what? It don't matter that I'm attracted to this person. I don't have to date the person. And somebody gonna say, well, what about these people who like these kids? You know, just because you got some idea that you're attracted to little young people, that don't mean you got to go act on it. Does it? Because God is my witness. You got people saying, I was born this way. So they say they gay, they were born this way. I believe there's no scientific evidence to prove that. Some people disagree with me. Okay, it's fair enough. We'll agree to disagree. Now, then people say, I was born trans. I don't believe there's no scientific evidence of that, but we agree to disagree. But then people say I was born a pedophile. That means they were born with attraction to minors, little kids, whatever, however young they are. And, you believe that too? I don't think there's no evidence that makes sense. But if you're going to go with I was born gay, then you have to accept people saying they're born trans, and you have to accept people that say they're born pedophiles. And if you say let live and let live, then people that can live trans, gay, they can live as a pedophile, can't they? Okay. Okay, of course not. Of course not. It's a choice. If you're struggling with something like that, you have a choice to say, I'm going to live this or I'm not. I don't know what's in your mind. I don't know if you think you like little kids, but you better not go there. You better somehow find a way to psych yourself out of doing something that was going to lead you to prison. And the same thing with these other people. Psych yourself out of making yourself more susceptible to suicide. You know, you may be a man and you want to be a girl. You ain't never going to be a woman. You ain't never going to be a woman. I don't care what nobody say to you. You ain't never going to be a woman. Ever. You can emulate, you can fabricate, you can impersonate a woman, but you will never be a woman. Just like trans men, you can impersonate, fabricate, you can mimic, mock, whatever you want to call it. You ain't never going to be a man. It's not going to happen. And they lead these people down a path of destruction. And I'll say this and I'm done, I promise. Miss Zion, or whatever his kid's name is comfortable to be trans when you 8, when you 12, because they ain't hit puberty and they still little people. So you could dress them up and people may actually think it's a girl. When Zion get 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 25, he's going to be 6'9" with a size 30 shoe with shoulders way out here. Nobody's going to think you a girl. Not one person. It ain't no way you're going to feel like a woman because you're going to be a 6'9" power forward with a dress on. And they doing them when they little, and then when they get older, they get dysfunctional. That's why they be committing suicide and all that, because it's going to grow up and that body going to be like a CrossFitter. And going to look in the mirror and realize you don't look nothing like a woman. Going to be hanging around your girlfriends and going to realize you ain't got nothing happening every month. Going to realize you ain't got no ovaries or nothing. You can't have no kids. You're going to feel less of a woman. And then they go off and get suicidal. Anyway, let me get off this thing. I love you guys. Talk to you on the next one, man. I'm out.